If I have to make a tackle, then I've already made a mistake. The wise words of Paolo Maldini. Those words cut straight to the heart of elite defending. It's all about being in the perfect spot before danger even arrives. Now that quote focuses on defensive positioning and anticipation. Maldini suggests that a good defender aims to prevent the need for tackles by being in the right place at the right time. Now talk of the town is, Milan are linked with Zachary Athekame from Young Boys, a right back who was ranked #1 in the Swiss league for slide tackles. So it leaves us with a very interesting question. Is Zachary compensating for being caught out of position, or is he simply mastering the arts of the last ditch tackle? So Milan are very close to securing their next summer signing, Zachary Athekame, for the right back position. It's been reported that 10 million is more than enough to get this deal over the line. Milan have been priced out of Doue from Strasbourg, and I just want to put it out there bright and early. Doue, as much as Milan were being cheap, Doue is not worth 30 million. In my opinion, I genuinely feel like this is the better signing. He's cheaper, less experienced, far less developed, but I think he's got more weapons to be a better player in the long run than somebody like Doue. Now, I'm not here to do a comparison. I'm mainly here to break down Zachary Athekame. Who is he? Why do Milan want him? Why, in my opinion, he might actually surprise a lot of you guys. But having said all of that, there's good and there's bad. And it's all about like trying to control your expectations if he was successfully to come to Milan. Now, before everything, if you're new, be sure to like, be sure to subscribe. If you're a regular watcher, hit the like button. It helps the channel grow. Now, Zachary Athekame. I've tried to go back and watch some Swiss games. Let's just say it's very difficult to get your hands on Swiss games. But it's a good thing because it meant I had to watch Champions League matches of him against tough oppositions. And to be fair, in games, well, Young Boys lost. So I felt like he was a bit more tested. What do I make of him? I think #1, there's a massive misconception around him just being a slide tackler, because I've seen this narrative floating around social media where he's only good at the slide tackle. No, in my opinion, he resorts to the slide tackle when defending transitions. And to be completely honest, what is a transition? It's when your team gets caught out and now the opposition are counter-attacking them. They are attacking the space. The fact that there's space to attack, it means your defensive line is already in the wrong place at the right time because they were all pushing forwards to attack. That's what a transition is. The best way to stop a transition, in my opinion, is a slide tackle. When you look at all of these photos, he's running back. He's using his recovery pace. It's not as if he's resorting to the slide tackle when he's in the right place at the right time. No. So I feel like that's a misconception that we definitely have to address. His slide tackling comes from defending transitions. Recovery pace, trying to catch up to the winger that's through on goal, trying to catch up to the striker that's through on goal. It's the last ditch tackle. Massive difference. Now him as an overall player, I think defensively he is very, very, very good. Now, of course, I told you guys, take the good with the bad and the bad with the good. Let's just say in the Swiss league, Shaqiri, who is practically finished, 33 years old, last season, he got himself 40 goal contributions in the Swiss league. And I'm really trying to paint the picture to you guys how the Swiss league, in terms of a competitive level, it's not on par with Serie A. It's not on par with Bundesliga, Liga 1, Premier League, La Liga. It's a massive jump for this player to make, okay? But I genuinely feel like he's got attributes which will help Milan a lot. Now, in my opinion, Milan's right-back position is going towards Jimenez. Now, Jimenez is the more offensive-minded player in the final third. He's full of trickery. He's full of dynamism. He can put crosses into the box. That's who Jimenez is. Zachary, for me, is more the opposite. He's more, you want to sit back, you want to defend, you want somebody that's literally going to put his body on the line. That's who he is. He is a no-nonsense right-back, no-nonsense defender. Like, from some of the clips that I was seeing, this dude will genuinely put his body on the line to stop you from shooting, to stop you from getting a cross over the line. Now, it's good, but where the bad is, I feel like he always tends to favour going to ground when making the challenge. Me, personally, I'm not really a big fan of players that always go to ground when making the challenge. When they get it right, it looks amazing. But when they get it wrong, they're now on the ground. By the time they get up and start running again and build that necessary speed to catch up to the winger is gone. When you go to ground, you've made a massive mistake if you don't get the ball. I feel like these are all things that Allegri, Milan can definitely iron out of him. Like, he's not the finished product. The dude is only 20 years old, but I feel like the fact that he's got ridiculous recovery pace, I feel like the fact that he's a fullback that wants to defend. I feel like nowadays, most fullbacks, they want to attack rather than defend. He is the complete opposite from what I saw of his games against Aston Villa, Stuttgart, and Galatasaray. From those 3 games, he looks like a player that truly goes out there to defend, to put his body on the line, to prevent crosses, to make those last-ditch tackles. In the final third, he needs some work, but having said that, he was ranked 2nd for successful crosses into the box. Now, of course, in possession, I feel like you can definitely improve him. But from what I saw of young boys, they're not really a team that's programmed into playing at the back. They're not really a team that's programmed into their fullbacks joining the attack. No, if anything, he genuinely comes across like a sweeper where everybody joins into the attack. He sits on the halfway line. Why? Why does he sit on the halfway line? I feel like it's because he's the fastest player on the team. Physically, he is very, very, very gifted. He's strong. He looks fast. He's got that recovery pace. And I'll be real, you play to your player's strengths. You keep him on the halfway line just in case you were to be caught on the transition. Just in case you're now being punished with a counter-attack. You want your fastest players to be there to put out the fire. And that's why I said there's a massive misconception around him slide tackling 24/7. That's the way he's utilised. I don't think, from what I've seen at young boys, he's utilised as an overlapping fullback, putting crosses into the box. But having said that, when he gets into that position, being ranked 2nd in the Swiss League for successful crosses, being ranked number 1 for key passes into the final third, it tells you when he does find himself into dangerous areas, he's smart at spotting his passes. But once again, how does this translate into the Italian league? I feel like it's a massive jump. But having said that, it will help a lot being coached and being managed by somebody like Allegri. Now, when it comes to Allegri, the one thing that's not a secret is when it comes to low blocks, when it comes to defensive shape, that's Allegri. Allegri is the master of the 1-0. Allegri is the master of getting everybody behind the ball, making sure they're compact. And we've already seen it in preseason how compact Milan are. Zachary working underneath somebody like Allegri, it will definitely help improve his overall understanding of the game. But I feel like his physicality will definitely help Milan. His willingness to defend will definitely help Milan. And on top of everything, is it really like a big gamble that Milan are taking on a player that's 20 years old? He costs 10 million, and in my opinion, far better recruit for 10 million. Like in terms of value for money, I think 10 million on him is far better than 30 million on Doue, in my opinion. I think Doue very similar, by the way. Doue, I feel like a lot of people are falling in love with the flicks and the tricks and the crosses into the box and the goals that he scores from outside of the box. Go look at Doue defending. Very similar. Always going to ground. Always relying on the slide tackle. But I feel like when it comes to Zachary, his success rate and his consistency and his willingness to rather defend than attack is what will help Milan in comparison to Doue. Doue genuinely looks like a winger playing as a fullback, which is very similar to Jimenez. Jimenez is a winger, but I'm saying Jimenez, when you watch him play at right back, he looks like a winger that's being forced to defend because of the position that he has to occupy. With Zachary, it's the complete opposite. This dude wants to defend. This dude wants to sit back and let everybody push forward. This dude wants to be the last line of defense. And I'm not surprised why Allegri might want somebody like him. Milan sitting back, he's probably somebody that you want. Fair enough, you have to iron out the fact that, listen, maybe be in the right place at the right time so you don't do the slide tackle. Maybe try and defend without going to ground. He's only 20 years old. But like I said, I'm more in support of 10 million on him than on 30 million on somebody that's 2-3 years older, who in my opinion, defensively doesn't offer, like there's not that big of a difference between the two. Finally, I just want to share like what I've read about him from the Swiss media when it comes to managers, when it comes to pundits, when it comes to journalists. Everybody speaks of him very highly. They all say, yes, he's young, he's got a lot to learn. But as a player, he's very raw, he's very athletic, he's dynamic. He wants to defend, he wants to put his body on the line. As a player, he's very exciting because he's got so much more growth in him. Now, it falls on Allegri, it falls on Milan's board, it falls on the overall structure of the club. You've signed yourself a prospect because that's what he is. And that's why I said at the beginning of the video, you have to manage your expectations with these type of players. You've signed yourself a prospect who's got a lot of good traits, but he's also got things that he needs to learn. Milan, it's now your job. It's now your job, whether it's Allegri, whether it's the future coach. It now all falls on Milan's board to build a structure, to get the right people in place, to develop this player, iron out the bad things out of his game, allow him to master the good things in his game, and allow him to raise his overall game, whether it's his development, his in-game experience. But I wouldn't be surprised if in 2-3 years' time, Milan have actually got themselves a very good defender that's now smarter in possession, better in possession, more dynamic in the final third, more penetrative in the final third. And I genuinely just feel like the fact that this dude wants to defend more than he wants to attack, it's a good sign. It's a very good sign, because he's the complete opposite of somebody like Jimenez. Don't be surprised if this season Jimenez starts games, but then once Milan go 2-1 up and they're trying to sit back for the next 20 minutes, don't be surprised if Jimenez goes off and Zachary comes on. Don't be surprised. At the end of the day, it's all about having a variety of players that offer a variety of different things in the same position. So the more offensive-minded fullback, the more defensive-minded fullback. And for me, 10 million on him is a far better gamble than Doue, who personally I don't think is anything special, and I don't think he warrants 30 million at all. Time will tell. Now if you're new, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, and I will catch you guys on another one.